We love this product.
It's my favourite paint. It totally is. Because when you're painting various different materials around the house, you have to think, oh, well, what primer do I need to buy? If it's rusty surface, well, what rust converter do I need to buy? What type of paint? Is this the right one? This takes away all of that mither, all of that questions, all those questions, all that worry, because it can do all these different materials. So wood, plastic, metal, glass, stone, concrete, tiles, all sorts. I can't think of anything this can't paint.
And the result is amazing, because it doesn't look like that's been repainted.
No,
it looks like
new.
you bought it like that.
It does, you know. And you know what? You can see there, guys, minimal brush marks, because I am a perfectionist when it comes to decorating. I always have been. I can't stand brush marks. That's why I love this. It looks like it's been dipped or factory sprayed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what? You've got such good adhesion with this. So you don't... It's got a built-in primer and it's got a built-in rust converter. Now, people don't like using rust converters because quite often they're acid-based.
Yes.
This isn't, OK? This is water-based. So the way it works is it turns the rust into a polymer, and that polymer gets absorbed into the paint. So you haven't got to worry about the science. I'm just a bit geeky like that. You literally just brush off any loose bits of rust and then just apply it straight away. So you don't need a primer, straight onto that. Straight onto it.
So clever, and so many surfaces you can use it on.
So many surfaces. And do you know what? My favourite thing about this, though, is the adhesion, because I've used paint in the past. You can always scratch it off with your nail. And,
especially on certain materials, it doesn't adhere at all.
It doesn't. You know what? This does not crack, flake or peel. I challenge you to try and make this to peel off. Your house is not going to do that, OK? But let's say you've got different bits of piping work, you've got different bits of guttering. You can have your house in uniform with this. People paint everything from their gates to their manhole covers to their furniture.
The water boxes, the gas boxes and things outside the property, they can all look a bit...
They can look ugly, can't they?
Yeah. And perhaps you're trying to sell your house and it is looking a bit tatty. Honestly, this will adhere to virtually any material. I mean, look at the state of this.
Awful, yeah.
But then look at that finish.
It looks like you bought it like that.
Yeah.
It looks like brand new wrought iron. So even if you've got, like, plastic plant pots, paint it with this. It looks like a heavy metal container. And it looks expensive.
If you've got odd garden furniture, perhaps you've got plastic and wood and metal, and you think, I wish it matched. If you paint it all with this, it'll all look like it matches.
Yeah, it does. It looks so purposeful. It just looks neat and tidy. Maybe you're selling your house. You know, first impressions do count for an awful lot.
That curb appeal is really important.
It really, really is. Yeah, wood. Yeah, it could be bricks. There could be a garden wall. It could be old rusty tools you want to paint up there.
Yeah.
But again, this can prolong the life of lots of different things around the house. But, Joe, before we show you some more, let's have a look at this. This is another black paint. On the plastic bottle there, you can you can see
that's
flaking everywhere.
Okay, you can see that there, can't you? That is just peeling off and flaking all over the place. Look, I'm covered in it.
And that's happened actually on my mum's radiator. And not because it's flexible, because of the heat. This even can withstand
heat resistant.
as well.
Radiators, up to 500 Fahrenheit, which I believe is 260 degrees Celsius.
Brilliant.
So around it, chimneys, fire pits, the outside of barbecues, fire surrounds. Oh, it looks fantastic. Yeah, it really does. But you know what? We painted another, just a bottle here.
So this isn't regular paint. This is our
Black Magic.
OK.
No primers needed. Straight onto the material, and it's not cracking or flaking or peeling. Look at that. That, my friends, is absolutely perfect. And to show you an even more extreme example of that, I've got a little bit of foil down here, all right? Now, you know what? If I was to scrunch that up...
So this is just regular tin foil?
So you've put Black Magic on there?
On that, right. If I was to open that up now ordinarily...
Must have cracked.
You think it's going to crack?
Yeah,
you think it's going to just fly all over the place? If I open that up... Just take a look.
That's impressive.
That adhesion. It may crack some of the foil, but you know what? The adhesion is still there.
Yeah.
Not a single bit flying off.
Crazy,
isn't it?
It's fantastic. I absolutely love that. OK, so what else have we got here to show you? In fact, do you know what? I've got a board. This is good to show for a number of reasons. Firstly, all the amount of materials. But the reason why we've got different types of wood here, really, is for this bit. It's not gloopy, OK? Because I want to show you down here. This is the whole point. So if this was like decking and so on, quite often paint fills in those ridges and it stops the anti-slip properties.
Yes.
But because it's in a gloopy paint, it's still going to go into those ridges properly, gives you good coverage, but doesn't fill it in where you don't want to. That could be chair legs, it could be decorative bits of furniture where you've got a lovely bit of profile. You don't want to ruin that or fill it in. That's going to be absolutely perfect there. So you've got MDF, we've got various different wood, you've got some timber,
And the
you've
finish
got plastic.
is fantastic, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't look like you've repainted that. It looks like that is how you bought it, because the finish, there's no brush marks, it's completely... It's got like a satin finish, like a factory finish.
Like a factory finish, that's absolutely right. But, you know, I can't stand brush marks. You will struggle to see brush marks. But you know what? We've got open tin of paint here. You can't smell anything.
No,
you
which is a really good point. It's water-based, isn't it? So there's nothing nasty in there. Can I just show one of these? Because
Please
I think these... indoors, because we're talking a lot about outdoors, that could be the end of a curtain rail. Perhaps you've got the pine curtain rails and it does look a little bit dated.
Yeah.
You could paint it all black so it looks like it's wrought iron. And actually, even however many times you pull the curtains on that rail...
because of the adhesion.
So it won't,
it's not going to
flake off like you tin foil and things.
Absolutely right. It's not going to chip. It's not going to crack.
And the difference there. Or even these are great as well.
Well, black accessories, people do have them. Black picture frames, you could paint your staircase with them. Well, that's good to show, because even the casters of your wheels, if that was a thick, gloopy paint, you wouldn't be able to move it.
It still moves, doesn't it?
It still moves.
Yeah.
And look, it looks like you bought it that colour. Because you don't want to, if you're upcycling, which is so big, so popular, you don't want it to look like you're painting it. You want it to look proper, professional, don't you? And even if you go around charity shops, this could be a new hobby, you know. This could be a new craft of yours to upcycle furniture.
And it could save you a fortune, because things you were probably going to throw out, you actually bring back to life.
Bring back to life. And do you know what? It could be old handles. This is just to cover some lights I've got in my garden, but the rust is awful, OK? All you need to do, just take a wire brush just to release all of the other rough bits there.
Any excess big bits of rust, just brush away.
Just brush away. And you don't need a primer. You haven't got to worry about what paint you're using, because this paint can go onto pretty much any surface. Built-in primer, built-in rust converter. It's your metal paint, it's your wood paint, it's your glass, anything at all. And you can see that will dry
and look
actually.
At that finish.
Yeah. It just glides on. You'd think for that coverage it would have to be a really thick, gloopy paint, but it doesn't have to be at all. It's
such a smooth, perfect finish. It looks like that's how you bought it.
Right, and do you know what grids we got here?
And they do say you're better not to be a painter, because you do virtually just sort of, like, you know, slap it on,
just dab it on. That's it. And again, you can wash a brush off in water, like I said. So the cleanup is so easy. It truly is. But because it's such a really good paint with good viscosity, it doesn't hide the profile. It's not obvious where you've painted. And even things like grids, I mean, that could be a gate into the entrance of your house. Yeah. And when you do something, you're going to look for other things to paint, because it's matching. Everything's in uniform. And it makes your house look so smart. I love this paint. You haven't got to worry about what primers you need to buy, because it's built in. Rust converter, it's built in.
Or what you're painting it onto. It's the right paint for virtually all and everything. I love that garage door. They can get really tatty, and remember, great for wear and tear as well. Busiest on the 2.5 litre. This is actually a ramp for a car.
Yeah.
But it looks new again. So you could resell that, couldn't you? The wheels, we know people that have used it on bumpers, even on the dashboard.
On the interior of cars as well. It really is that factory finish. I love it for things like downpipes. I mean, that looks so old, so worn, until you apply that black magic, and then it looks like brand new. So we talk about that factory finish. We talk about that curb appeal when it comes to your house and outside. Remember, you do have a 1 litre or a 2.5 litre available. The 2.5 litre is absolutely flying, and 974362 is your item. And these are all the different places and surfaces that you can use it on. And as Charlie was saying, the great thing is there's no brush marks. You don't leave any drip marks behind. It replaces so much. You don't need a primer. You're just going to use that first paint and just slap it on again. You don't need any skill with this. Literally just slap it on and it looks like a factory finish.
Looks like that's how you bought it. I mean, the finish is incredible. And it could be all around your garden. It could be like you're seeing there, you're seeing it on the bird feeder, and that really looks like it's at the end of its life, really. You're going to throw that away. But actually, just get rid of the excess flaky bits of rust and pop this on. No primer. This is a rust converter, and it will actually absorb the rust, and it actually then gives you this great finish, but also this great protection. Environmentally friendly as well, because it's water-based. Super quick drying, so in an instant, really, the job is done.
This is my favourite here.
And there's no horrible smell to it. Now, that gives you an idea of sort of flaky, rusty sort of bits.
Just take away the big excess pieces and then just put the paint straight over the top. As we say, it's a rust converter. The before to the after is like that factory finish. It's like a brand new item once again.
Wow.
So there'll be items that you would probably throw away. This is great if you upcycle or recycle.
Get things matching as well around the house and in the garden. Perhaps you've got wooden chairs, plastic chairs, metal chairs. They can all look the same in an instant, but do use them indoors as well. And remember, it does withstand temperatures up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it is inside, it could be a surround around a fireplace. It could be a chimney outside.
And the 2.5 litres gives you up to 20 to 30 square metres of coverage, depending what you use.
Always the most popular.